Hi scholars, this is Mr. Ramirez, and today we're going to be reading a book called Olivia's Birds Saving the Gulf. Now, my favorite part about this book is that the author and the illustrator is Olivia. So that means that she wrote this book for us as well as drew all of the pictures in this book. So I'm excited to learn about what she has to tell us. Discovering birds. Birds are fascinating, intriguing, and unique creatures. Some birds are colorful and pretty to look at. Other birds, like the chickadee, are so friendly that they will eat right out of your hand. There are lots of different types of birds. Some are all around you, in trees, on the top of telephone poles, and even on your roof. Now let's talk about the common nighthawk up here. This bird nests on roofs and is often mistaken for a swallow at night. The osprey builds huge nests high off the ground. These are fun facts. Now let's keep reading and see what other animals we learn about. Everyday birds. You may not notice the birds around you, but there are lots of them right outside of your window. You don't have to travel anywhere to look for them. For example, the graceful barn swallow lives in the crevices of buildings and on the sides of schools. They can usually be found dancing in soccer fields or meadows. If you take a look around, you might catch a glimpse of a white-breasted nuthatch climbing a tree upside down. Which bird do you see outside of your window? Now let's look at our friend the blue jay up here. Blue jays can imitate the calls of various eagles and hawks. Now imitate means that they can copy the sound that other birds make, which is pretty cool. The northern cardinal. Males with brighter feathers feed more food to their young. And the American goldfinch. Its nickname is wild canary due to its bright yellow plumage. Plumage means it's just another word for feathers. Birds in flight. Did you know that birds learn how to fly from their parents? Bird parents will nudge the babies off the nest. The chicks will either fall or fly out of the tree. If they fall, the parents will swoop them back up until they learn how to fly. Some birds can't fly, like penguins and the kiwi from New Zealand, but most birds are amazing flyers. Some birds fly in a flutter pattern. They flutter and then close their wings before fluttering again. Vultures fly in circles looking for prey. Ducks and waterfowl flap their wings very hard and never take a break. Their way of flying looks like it hurts. There is no other animal equipped just like birds. Even the bat can't fly as well or aerodynamically as a bird can. Birds are flying elegance. Now let's talk about the barred owl. Owls flap to take off and glide silently so their prey doesn't detect them. Now we have the Canada goose. Geese flap constantly until they are ready to land in water. Their webbed feet break their fall. That's pretty cool. Birds that live in the woods. Most birds live in trees, and where are there lots of trees? In woods and forests. Some of the best bird watching can be done in a forest far away from civilization. If you sit still, birds will certainly come out of hiding. Be sure to bring your binoculars and your camera. And don't just look up. I once found a hummingbird nest on the ground of a wooded area. Now let's talk about the black-billed magpie. This bird is a relative of crows and jays. Then we have the tufted titmouse, which is a small fuzzy friend and is shy, but will visit frequently if it finds food in your yard. And then we have the pileated woodpecker. Thump, whump, whack. Pileated woodpecker's familiar tree-pecking drum is often mistaken for the ivory-billed woodpecker. They like to do that. Birds that live near water. Imagine yourself sitting on a boat, listening to the pouring rush of water as it moves gently downstream. Doesn't that sound nice? Well, some birds think it's nice too. Many birds live near lakes, streams, and oceans. They need to nest there in order to survive. It takes over 1,000 years for coastal birds to adapt to a new environment. That's a really long time. Up here we have the razorbill. These unique birds can chase prey underwater as deep as 400 feet. So that means that the razorbill can dive all the way down into the water and then come back up. The Atlantic puffin. This cute but hardy bird was once nearly extinct off the coast of Maine. And then we have the roseate spoonbill. These spoon-shaped bills, they're spoon shaped bills filter food, and the chemicals in its diet turn it pink. We've learned about a different animal that turns pink from their diets. Let me think. The flamingo also turns pink. Weird and wacky birds. Some birds do the most interesting, unusual things, whether it's their curious call or the strange shape of their bill, or perhaps their unique role in our environment. Some birds don't seem like birds at all. Now let's talk about the eastern phoebe. Dogs wag their tails, and so do these birds, perched on a tree. Down here we have the scissor-tailed flycatcher. Its name says it all. This bird eats flies and other small insects. When it crosses its tail, it looks like a pair of scissors. And then we have the pyrolexia. This unusual name is more colorful than the bird itself and comes from a combination of two Greek words, meaning flame-colored and slanting. Now let's continue. Fierce birds. Ooh. What do you think of first when you hear birds of prey? Feisty falcons clutching their lunch in their sharp talons? Or perhaps what comes to mind is our nation's bird, the bald eagle, standing proudly with our flag. Some birds are hunters and can be very aggressive. That shows their nature. They need to eat and live too. If you want to watch these birds, it's best to stay 20 feet away and use a scope or a pair of binoculars. If you happen to find yourself near one of their nests, don't panic. Put your hands down by your side and back away slowly. Up here we have Cooper's hawk. This bird was nicknamed Chicken Hawk because it liked to hunt chickens on farms. Next we have the American kestrel. This robin-sized bird may be small, but it is fierce enough to take on bats, birds, and even fish. And then we have the swallow-tailed kite. Aerodynamic and often called the most beautiful bird in America, swallow-tailed kites shoot out of the sky to pounce on unsuspecting prey. Now, scholars, this is where we're going to end our reading. I want you to make sure that you answer all of the questions that we have for you, and tomorrow we'll continue reading.